My people, no be smarty, no. Hey, e be like say no be only Emefiele go kirikiri o. As I dey talk to una so, e be like say the matter sef don reach where Oga Bubu dey o. As I dey talk to una so, everywhere don scatter. No wonder una know say Oga Bubu fit let us know say he dey go to him village, dey go train him cow. After he see say wahala wey dey come after he comot for office, na Oga Bubu don gbaga go another country o. My people, no be small thing o. As I dey talk to una so, my people, court don grant am say make the money wey be say Abacha lot comot for Nigeria, wey Oga Bubu go collect come back to Nigeria, make Obasanjo and Oga Bubu make dem come talk how dem take use money. Both Goodluck Jonathan, dem say na Oga Bubu na come worse pass o. As I dey talk to una so, dem still make Oga Bubu come talk the way he take spend the money. My people, another fire on the mountain na be this one o. Even Oga Bubu go dey shock say who dey behind am. I think he don leave office, wetin dem still dey find for him hand. My people, e don happen, and I know say dem pursue EFCC chairman. Dem one still dey for inside DSS, wey be say e dey there still dey chop him own punishment. Now Emefiele still dey DSS custody dey chop him own punishment. Oga Bubu na court don drag am come now. Una know the way the other Tinubu take do am. He do am say make e no be like say now him mouth na for take come out say na court. People come dey reason say who carry the file go court before court come grant am say make Oga Bubu come let us know how he take spend the 5 billion naira wey be say $5 billion wey be say he collect, wey Abacha lot comot for Nigeria, wey Oga Bubu come go carry am come back. How Oga Bubu come take use the money, where he spend am put, which project. My people, no be small thing o. As I dey talk to una so, everywhere don dey scatter, wey people come dey talk say since wey be say dem don arrest Emefiele, EFCC chairman, and Tinubu don drop many people for position based on say wetin dem don do during the Buhari regime time. Now people come dey talk say Tinubu, this one you no go do, say this one na president matter. Buhari don turn to normal citizen like us. If Buhari are not clean, you know the next thing to do. The way DSS go remove Emefiele, make DSS still take the same action when it comes to Oga Bubu. My people no be smart, you know. As I dey talk to una so, the matter don dey pass the way we take dey use eye take dey see am o. My people, make una go watch video. The way court take order say Oga Bubu how he take do money, they don give Oga Bubu date o, where they don't tell us say make he can't tell us how he take do money, or else no be my mouth na go hear wetin go happen o. Make una go hear am inside this video wey I wan play for una so.
Trending, with reactions trailing an order by the Federal High Court in Abuja requesting the federal government to account for the $5 billion Abacha loot and for the details of the spending to be made public. In a judgment delivered on July 3rd in a case filed by the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, the presiding judge, James Omotosho, ordered President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to disclose the exact amount of money stolen by General Sani Abacha from Nigeria, the total amount recovered, and all agreements signed by the governments of former presidents Olusegun Obasanjo, Umaru Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, and Muhammadu Buhari. The judge also ordered the government to disclose the details of the projects executed with the Abacha loot, locations of any such projects, and the names of companies and contractors that carried out the projects since the return of democracy in 1999 till date, as well as the specific roles played by the World Bank and other partners in the execution of any projects funded with the Abacha loot. Well, let's take some reactions, Dr. Bati, before we discuss. This is from Arinze, who wrote, "How did $5 billion leave Nigeria? Where did the funds come from? Which federal government account? How was it taken abroad? Where was it placed?" Then we can begin to discuss how it came back and so on. I guess he posed a lot of questions there. This is from Dr. Bature. He wrote, "This is a win for Nigeria at large. Courtesy Serap Nigeria, the $5 billion truly needs to be accounted for. What are the projects executed with the recovered loot? We didn't feel the positive impact of the recovered loot. I hope there will be full compliance with the judgment. It is our money. Dr. Martin, it is our money. I know you always use that. I mean, Nigerians are saying it is our money. But again, it is a big win for Serap. You know that Serap has been doing the Lord's work in, filing these cases. And this is a new administration. And I'm hoping that they will do right by this judgment. That is actually the question. What's going to happen? This judgment, they're saying that it should comply within 7 days. What's going to happen if there's no compliance?
Number one, yes, I agree with you absolutely. That is a big win for SERAP, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, a civil society group, a non-governmental organization that has been very active, that has been in the forefront of raising questions about the economy, about accountability, and using the Freedom of Information Act majorly as a tool of engaging the Nigerian state. Now, the major issue here is about the right of the citizen to know.
Yes.
Because we have the right to know. So when you say it is our money, what you are saying also is that the people who are the owners of the money have the right to know how that money was spent. That's number one. Number two, it's also a reminder of the kind of corruption that went on under General Sani Abacha. As the Nigerian government, one after the other, got money either from Switzerland or the Cayman Islands or from New Jersey. Abacha got a new title as the ancestor that is always given from the grave, because it looks like there was no end, to the amount of money that have been stashed away, which is also why in many of these African countries, and also at the level of the AU, this illicit illicit transfer of national treasure to banks overseas, to safe havens, has been a major problem. Now, let me go back to the point about how it's a triumph for SERAP in terms of using the Freedom of Information Act. Justice James Omotosho based the ruling on Section 7 of the Freedom of Information Act. Section 7 of the Freedom of Information Act simply says that, look, if a public institution is going to deny access to information that is being requested, now you must state reasons why you are not granting that access. And you must communicate same to the body or group that is asking for that information, the applicant, seeking access to that particular information. If you do not do so, you are liable under that Section 7 of the Freedom of Information Act to a fine of 500,000 naira, and the applicant can seek redress in court. So what SERAP has done is to go to court, and the court has now ruled that the Ministry of Finance cannot avail itself of the provisions of Section 7 of the Freedom of Information Act. So it's simply, a matter of law, and the expectation is that the Ministry of Finance must respect the ruling of the court. Okay, it has the option of going on appeal, but the ruling of the Court of Justice Omotosho for now is that within 7 days, it must comply. What the court has done is to stress accountability, is to hold the Ministry of Finance down to the people's right to know how their money was spent. It was looted, it was returned, how was it spent? I think, the ruling is very straightforward, and it is, it is something that will gladden the hearts of many people who have been seeking enforcement of freedom of information. And many people must be alarmed that the Federal Ministry of Finance will say it has no records.
This is my question.
No, how can the Ministry of Finance of Nigeria not have records?
Yes, this is it.
This is the bigger question.
How did that happen, Rufai? You talked about some of the loot that had been returned, I believe one from Jersey, and then I think that they had shared that money in that social register. I don't know if you recall that. I think that was 2 years ago.
The loan was done with the money.
With that money. But this is the first time that we are seeing that it's $5 billion that aggregate, because there was a lot of discrepancy whether it was 3 billion or whether.
Yeah,
it's good that we are seeing this.
So SERAP says 5 billion. God knows it could be more.
Yeah.
Because what we know was that the monies they started returning from the early 1999 to 2000. Swiss government returned a couple, 750 million, in trickles. I think there was an infographic by the BBC a couple of years ago that says 3.25 billion. We don't know how much exactly is the money. I remember the case you were talking about, Malami, the last tranche of return. They said the government was going to be put into some highway.
That
I think
was a
Abuja,
condition,
Kano highway,
yeah,
and
for the
the
return,
condition and
yeah.
all of that, which a lot of people kicked against. But they said those were the conditions. And I think the Attorney General there, Malami, defended it. And we had all of this go on for a while. The question is, we deceive ourselves too much in this country. Because you ask a question, how did the money go out? The bagmen that helped him carry that money out, they're still around in Nigeria today. They're living a good life, and life has moved on. We all know what happens in this country. So people are not corrupt alone. They do it with other bagmen that help them bag the money out, and they're free people today. And the truth has to be said. If we truly want to build this country, let us have a country that has a lot of integrity. We can laugh about it and say, oh, Abacha now is our ancestor sending us money. But this is the money they ought to use to build schools and do infrastructure for people. Some of these monies were carried in cash out of this country.
So sad.
We all remember. And this was a man. Abacha got in 1993 after he removed the National from Fidihe, and he died on the 8th of June 1998. In 5 years, he bled the country dry. Do you know how many more people are bleeding the country with their bagmen? Is this one? Maybe it's because of the magnanimity of the foreign nations that say, oh, come and see, you have money here. What if we never got? Do you know how many? The chance. And we're saying Nigeria is broke, is poor. Because people are fleecing the country dry every day. People and their bagmen that are still around are moving everywhere. Wasn't the foreign leader that once said, when we're asking for debt relief, and the foreign leader said, if you check the bank accounts of Nigerians abroad, you would not even want to forgive Nigeria's debts. And the money was put in every part, Switzerland, Jersey, and all of that. But their accomplices are around, and we move on, and we celebrate them in society. You see, this country is a country that we've built in such a way that only favors those that are on the top, and those below can go and die. But except we change our status quo, nothing will change.
Yes.
So for your question that you asked, how did the money move around? The bagmen are still very much around, and life has moved on from there.
Yes. Well,
and I'm also happy, Serap is, as Dr. Bati said, asking for FY to be able to get all the details of this and all of that. But the sad reality is, as we speak, maybe in the future, when we get to look back, a lot of something is still happening. It's Nigeria. It's the corruption. The day we change that mentality and use the money for the citizen, Nigeria will be better.
Yes.
We can actually build a great country.
Yes,
but we'll see what happens.
Right.
Because of
My people, now the video now on a new watch finish so. On a see wetin happen for inside the video. Alright, my people. I would like to end the video for you. Make una let me know wetin una think for the comment section. And if una never subscribe, make una subscribe so that una no go miss any latest gist way I dey upload. Now bye bye till I come on away next time. Bye guys, catch you in the next video. Bye guys.